On this edition of What's Up Western New York, a look back at the 2016 Niagara County Peach Festival. Behind the camera has Cindy Abbott interviewing producer-directors Fred and Chris Olen Ray. A look at the major improvements to the Niagara Power Vista. And a visit to our favorite restaurant, Ilio DiPaolo's.
Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck.
You have to eat this as fast as you can, and the first one who finishes wins the prize. I haven't determined, I told you what the price is, but let's say it's another shortcake to go. How's that?
The Mercedes.
A Mercedes? A Mercedes shortcake. How's that?
Are we allowed to sabotage the other contestants?
Yeah. Mr. Benson, if you want to elbow the project, the town supervisor, just don't come back here anymore.
Okay. Just don't get us.
1, 2, 3, go. We could have tried to exchange, but we made it a mess, so we decided that wouldn't be right. We were always going to They seem to be, let's see, the governor was ahead, he stopped though for a minute. He's rusty.
Supervisor's catching up here.
Okay. Now you're going to release this to all the newspapers? No.
Yes. Yes.
It's going to be on television too?
Yes.
So today, right?
Supervisor is pulled into the lead.
We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. My God, it's almost over.
Oh,
It's almost over.
Supervisor Broderick in good shape.
It's almost over.
Gonna be close.
Maybe it'll be 2 shortcakes for a year. How about that? Is that a good ride? He's got a big family. That's it. The supervisor gets the winner!
First announce the name of the first runner-up and then our new title holder. Our first runner-up is contestant 3, Emily Buzzard. Angelica Biter is the new Niagara County Peach Queen. Congratulations, Angelica. And while they are crowning her, let me remind you a little bit about Angelica. She is the daughter of Brian and Jamie Biter. Her hobbies include blogging, do-it-yourself projects, wedding and event planning. She's the author of a blog for young women with chronic illness. Angelica is a member of the Hereditary Angioedema Association, and she has assisted with many Make-A-Wish promotions.
Hi, this is Cindy Abbott Litro with the Buffalo Niagara Film Commission. Today we're in the historic Riviera Theater where a movie is being made, and we're going to talk to its director, Fred Olen Ray, and his son, who is producing, Christopher Ray. They have been frequent guests and movie makers in Buffalo.
Well, I was doing a film that needed snow, a Christmas picture, and since we'd shot in Ohio, we scouted Ohio and Michigan around New Year's, but there was no snow and no guarantee of snow. And my son Chris had made battle dogs here in Buffalo a year or so earlier. And he said, Dad, if you really want to go where there's snow, he goes, go to Buffalo. And he said they had a great film commission that was very helpful. And so I made a call and jumped on a plane. They came here and they showed me East Aurora, which was under 4 feet of snow and not likely to come out of it for a while. And so I went back to everybody and said, this is where we want to go. Let's go there. And we did.
I heard, though, that you had been a professional professional wrestler at one time in your life. I mean, how does one make this transition into doing something that requires really such focus and skill? And
well, you know, wrestling is like theater. It's putting on a show, and it's like a live performance in front of an audience. And I was always wanted to be a filmmaker when I was a kid, but I wanted to be a makeup artist. And I started as a makeup artist, but I realized I was always between jobs, and I was never making enough money to get from one month to the next. So I said I need to move up to one of the higher paying jobs. And so I decided to try. You just don't decide to try to be a director, but I did, and it worked for me. And I like it. I like being boss.
So tell me just how long does it take from beginning, you know, you get the idea, to the end?
Well, I was here in March. I made a Christmas film here in March. And on my days off, I tell the film commission, show me something I haven't seen before. And we stay right near Shays Buffalo. And I said, oh, I'd like to see that theater. And I saw it, but it was way too big. And I didn't think the backstage area had any character. They said, let me show you this other theater. And so I came and I saw this theater. And
this is the Riviera.
This is the Riviera Theater, and the owners were very interested in having a film shot here. And they showed me the Lockport Caves, and they showed me the water pumping station. So I said, well, these are all very good. And I went back and I made a half-a-page outline that said I would like to make a movie around these locations. And I got the green light. So then I had to write the script, which takes a month or so. And then we would prepare for a month. And then we'd come here and we'd shoot for almost a month and then wrap up for the rest of the time. Then we'll go back home and we'll edit for a month.
And home is?
Los Angeles.
Okay.
And we'll go back and do that for at least a month. Then music and sound and all that stuff, that takes a month or so, and color correcting. It takes a good 6-7 months. And then there's a lead time to when it can be released, and that's usually, who knows? Who knows, because you don't always know who's going to buy it or when they need it.
Are you the exception, or are you the rule in what filmmakers are doing today? I mean, is there a Fred Olen way of doing things, which sounds like you do everything?
Well, I try to fit in where people need me. I don't really go out and try to make films that I'm interested in. I've always equated to baking a cake. I want to make the cake that other people want to eat. It's not about me. It's about the guy. I'm trying to sell the cake. I'm not trying to eat the cake. Mm-hmm. So I try to make whatever type of picture that people want to buy, whatever they're wanting to buy, and that's what I want to try to make. And I've had some luck. I'm luckier than a lot of other directors, in as much as we're never over schedule, over budget. We're always on time, and the films are fairly popular, and they play on television eventually, or DVD, or wherever they go. And so, yeah, I think I'm more of the exception. I think I work more than just about any other director out there. There's a few others, but there's not many.
We have seen a great uptick in filmmaking here in our region, and of course, having tax credits helps quite a bit. But what is it for you? I mean, because you've been here, what now? How many films have you done here?
Four films. This is the fourth film, and I may be back in December. I'm trying. What I like about the area is it has a lot of different looks. It has a big city look. It has a small town look. It has great architecture that you don't see in Los Angeles. The houses are interesting looking. The old buildings are very interesting. You have a Dynamite Film Commission here who are extremely helpful, and they're very good about taking you around and showing you the little hidden and secret treasures that are waiting out there. And I just like it. When we work with the police are very cooperative, and they're very helpful. The mayor's office has been very helpful. I haven't run into anybody yet who isn't very helpful. they're all real helpful, and it gives us the look of a film that like we couldn't have made this picture in Los Angeles. They don't have a theater like this in LA. They don't have a Lockport Caves. We have water treatment plants that we work in, but they don't look like that one. That old rusted out steampunk kind of look. you know. And it's just the overall cooperation. We shot at the marina yesterday, and it was something at the spur of the moment. We finished early, and we said, "Oh, could we go over there?" And in LA, it would be a long process of getting this sign and that sign and running to see this person. And no, the answer was sure. Pack up the cars, let's go, and we'll go over there and straighten it all out for you. And they did, and we did. So I mean, that's one of the things I really like about Buffalo. I also think it has a great Epicurean restaurant scene. I'm telling you, they have some of the greatest restaurants here. You know, and that, you know, it's just it's fun. I mean, I like to go home. I like to sleep in my own bed, and I like to, you know, be around my children. But if I had to work somewhere, this would be the place.
I'm with Christopher Olen, who is producing this current production that we're visiting on set today. Chris, you're really the one that got your father to the Western New York area. Tell me a little bit about how you found this area to shoot in, because you've made quite a few films in your career.
We wanted to shoot, at the time, Ward's Island, which is now Battle Dogs, in New York. We actually went to New York City, and we were looking for an airport to shut down. So we went to JFK, and they told us it was about $40,000 to $50,000 for 8 hours, and we can't do it. So at that point, I ended up driving around the state of New York, going to Syracuse, Rochester, anywhere with an airport, and I basically said the first place they told me I could shoot with an airport, we would stay. So we ended up getting to Niagara, and they told me to call Tim Clark about it. So I gave him a ring, and literally within 4 or 5 hours, Tim showed up at the airport. Within the hour, he agreed that we were going to shut it down to film. So we literally brought the production from LA here into Buffalo, and we shot at Niagara International Airport, and we shot the Buffalo surrounding areas.
What do you find in this region that, for instance, I mean, I can understand, I get the JFK thing, that was definitely cost, but what is it about this region? What have you found here? What do you like about it?
You know, it comes down to the cooperation of the commission and the cost. It really comes into when you're doing shows that aren't the big blockbuster, to be able to come to a place like this where they understand our budget, they know what we're dealing with, and we end up getting product that looks like we spent 4, 5, 6 times what we're spending. And there's a cooperation. We're not kind of passed off to the side because we're not the multi-million-dollar project. So that's really the reason why we keep coming back.
And do you bring your own cast and crew with you when you shoot?
Yes and no. We bring a couple key members from LA when it comes to crew, and we try to hire locally. Luckily, the guys here we've worked with either from Ward's Island from scratch, and then they've kind of got their own career now, or we've met new guys over the last 2 years, and we just continue to rehire. Cast-wise, we try to hire locally. We might fly in our star name or whatever, but everything else we try to keep local or within the surrounding area.
Of course, we like to hear that you like coming to Buffalo. You know, Buffalonians love to know that this is happening. What is the best part of it? What keeps you coming back, apart from the fact that we do have the tax benefits and that people are very helpful? What is that would, you could shoot anywhere you want it, I would assume.
I'm telling you, it comes down to how friendly and how helpful. I mean, I've shot in Seattle, North Carolina, Florida, parts of Georgia, LA. I mean, everywhere we go to, the experience here is different than anywhere else. So it keeps us coming back.
As far as films that you choose to make, what is it that the audience seems to be wanting? I mean, what's the appetite? What is the genre that the audience seems to want?
It changes constantly, but I mean, right now we're doing some of the Lifetime thriller films. Holiday films always seem to be selling recently. Action. The ones we come out here for, we do a lot of the thriller and the Christmas films, just because of the small town look and the access to certain areas that we just couldn't get anywhere else.
Love it. Buffalo, Niagara, the heart of thriller and Christmas films. Great. Thanks a lot, Chris.
No worries.
Since it opened, Ilio DiPaolo's in Blaisdell has had a close connection to the Buffalo Bills. It's a short drive away from Ralph Wilson Stadium. It's a favorite restaurant of lots of players, coaches, and fans, and its walls are covered with memorabilia. Naturally, conversations around meals at Ilio's often turn to favorite Bills memories or thoughts on the current team's chances. And that's exactly what's happening out on the patio today, except this group of Bills fans is a little different than most.
Pro wrestling has been such a big, vital part of Western New York tradition and Buffalo tradition since before our time. The last sporting event in the Buffalo Auditorium was pro wrestling 20 years ago, so now we're bringing all the wrestlers back and we're doing a reunion. So you got generations of wrestlers here this weekend.
Dennis and his dad, Ilio, when I first came to Buffalo, they took me in, so I became a wrestling fan. And at the very first one that we had was great, and so Dennis is planning another one. I said, I got to come back for it.
I had the opportunity about 20 years ago to bring a wrestling event to Buffalo. Obviously getting to meet Dennis DiPaolo enhanced that experience.
You got to remember in the 60s, the Bills were just starting out. They used to practice right up the street here where the McKinley Mall was, and it was a short walk down for dinner to Ilio's. Pro wrestling was the big sport in town. Many of our Buffalo Bills players were great wrestlers, so there's always a deep connection. Football and wrestling, you know, it's a hand-in-hand thing.
One of the first events that we had here, Jim Kelly decided to spontaneously jump up in the ring and get involved in a match, and it was an unscripted part of the show. And in fact, it was the best part of the show.
Don't hurt your arm, whatever you do. Don't break your arm, Jim, or your leg. Oh, God. Then we have to move after that.
I won't go so far as to say I wanted to sign him at that point because I knew he was a little busy playing football.
This is just great. It's like being back to the roots of wrestling, the bond of the ring, we call it. The best of the Northeast is here to wrestle this weekend. A couple of them are Buffalo Bills season ticket holders, so how cool is that?
Transplanted Buffalonian originally. I was born here, raised in Texas. And my family's still very passionate about those Buffalo Bills.
It's hard not to fall in love with Buffalo once you actually come to Buffalo, and especially when you step foot in the Ralph.
We're going to make them Bills fans anyway, especially after having lunch here. They got to be a Bills fans.
Wrestling's like food. You know, it brings people together, talk about the old days, talk about what's going on in your lives.
That's the key to success in Buffalo. When the team embraces the community and the community embraces the team, that's a win-win combination.
Ooh, yeah.
The governor's office, in conjunction with Gil Quinones, our president and CEO, wanted to position the Niagara Power Vista within the tourism market here in the Western New York area. To do that, to be a key player in that, we needed to be able to provide a fun, exciting, state-of-the-art visitor center that can do that. In our previous Power Vista, we had about 50 interactive exhibits, a lot of levers and buttons. With our new facility, we're state-of-the-art. We offer a lot more interactive, but the key features here are our feature film, which now tells the full story of NYPA and specifically the Niagara Power Project and how it plays a role in the area on a 30-foot by 8-foot curved screen. We also have a 4D simulated ride, and that obviously is going to be one of our key experiences here and something you would find at a theme park somewhere. And the other key feature is the transmission grid table, and that really allows folks to see the power generation and the transmission of power from start to finish, from how it's made to how it gets to the home.
Yes, I connected it!
I've been to Orlando to see some of the resorts there. These are on par with what they got going on there. They're beautiful displays, 4D events. I think they've captured the essence of what the project's about, what it means to the region, and really what it means to the state.
A lot of thought and effort went into developing exhibits that not only fit with educators in the STEAM experience and being able to provide an educational quality field trip for schools, but also that would translate into fun for folks that are just looking for something fun to do, and they learn a lot along the way.
For kids to come in and be able to have some fun, hands-on, and see how they can get into science and technology aspect of things, it's fantastic, it's great, and it's going to bring a lot of those kids thinking about how electricity working.
With this new visitor center, coupled with the fact that we're now on the route of the Discover Niagara shuttle, and in conjunction with being on the New York State Parks Discovery Pass, that really positions us to be a key player in the tourism market here.
yourself with me. Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite,
Unearth hidden passion.
Mom will have a good time.
Plant seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall,
And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Bye. Bye. All right. Bye. Come home straight after school. Okay. Love you. Bye. As a parent, you want to protect your kids from everything, which sometimes means telling them things they need to hear in order to keep them safe. Things like don't smoke and don't talk to strangers. But how many of us talk to our kids about gambling? Teen gambling can become an addiction, a pathway to other destructive behavior. Be aware of the warning signs. Have the gambling conversation with your kids. Need help? Visit PreventYouthGamblingNY.org to get started.